So it's spring of 2019. Well, it's just early spring really. We're 10 or 11 days in. This has been the spring of absolute disasters. So we've got over 100 fires, wildfires, bushfires, burning pretty much out of control in northern New South Wales and across southern Queensland. So I thought I'd show you what's happening. Bear that little fact in mind. The tiny farms kind of mirrored that. We've had some natural disasters in terms of the dry, but also some man-made disasters in terms of stupid things that I've been doing. So let's have a look, shall we? G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. The peach tree out the back. It was really laden with fruit, as you can see still, but a lot of it's falling off. It's just a drought. What I'm trying to do there is give that tree a deep water around the roots. That way it's better to do one big deep water than it is to do a lot of little shallow waters. So we'll see if that makes any difference. Doing a bit of canning. And I'll give you a look. Let's swing it around, not too fast. It's more of that spicy Thai peanut sauce that I love. That water I'll be allowed to cool, and in the morning I'll actually use it on my plants. Waste not, want not. I've been doing the same when I clean out the still and stuff. All that spare water, none of it gets wasted. It all goes on the garden. We've got towns that are about to run completely dry. Toowoomba's one, it's not far from me. A lot of farmers are trucking water in, which of course is terribly expensive, but what else can they do? And of course we've got a lot of bushfires now, which is really interesting because we don't really have the water to fight it. And there's no rain, real rain forecast until next January. So things are looking pretty grim. People my age are certainly used to going back on water restrictions, so we fairly readily readapt back to, you have 2-minute showers, you turn the taps off when you're brushing your teeth, you know, all that sort of stuff. So not only is it dry, but it's blowing a bloody gale. Believe it or not, it pushed that entire... That was a 3-tier worm farm, so it wasn't light. It got pushed over in the wind and destroyed one of the foam boxes. So I had to run on the footpath. Remember I made that old bench seat? Well, it sat in the backyard and was never really used. So I shoved it out here on the footpath. Put a garden in there, you can see. The only thing I've planted, I only did that yesterday. The only thing I've planted is a macadamia nut. Now that's an Australian native nut. If you haven't, I'm presuming it's common overseas. Really nice nut. Bit of a hard shell, bit of a hard nut to crack. But apart from that, all is good. There is the remnants of the insides of a native beehive, less the brood. So that's all the building structure and honey pots and pollen sacs there. I've left it out here because, as you can see, there is quite a few bees still come out and get into it. Now I'm presuming they're taking building material and taking it back to their hives on the other side. Long-term viewers know that last time I split this hive, it was really quite rotted out. I was really worried about it at the time, but it was also very terribly difficult. I kind of just left it. Well, I had to split it. I always split early in the season, that way there's less predators. So it was rotted awfully. So what I had to do was take all that, anything aside from the brood, it had to go out and get taken away. And the brood got put in that top box there. Now I actually swap those boxes over on a fairly regular basis every second day. You can see there's bees coming in and out of both of those hives. That's 2 hives. Each hive consists of 3 layers. They're coming in and out of both. which means they're looking after the shattered brood, and the one below, which is a normal split. So I'm pretty happy. I think that's going to be well and truly okay, which is a great thing. It was just nerve-wracking because I've never had to decimate a hive to that extent. Now the one beside it there, it'll be split in the next day or two. Got no real concerns with that because that's a relatively new box. I will be swapping over to a hard wood. That'll prevent this rot out problem. Positive news, I've got 48 eggs in that incubator. You can see I've taken the rocker out. She's on day 16, which puts it into lockdown. You don't open after day 14 until probably day 20. They should start to hatch on day 18, and they'll survive for 2 days. We've also started the official canning season. So I've got 3 bottles of kumquat marmalade, straight normal passata from cherry tomatoes, that's my Thai chili sauce, and 3 bottles of spicy Thai peanut sauce. So, look, that's not much, but it's not bad given that we're only 10 days in. So hopefully if we can get some water, I'll have quite a lot of sweet chili sauce and tomato passata stored away. Of course, we're still continuing to run the still, and that's a batch of beer that I've got on fermenting as well. So that's a carton of beer down there, homemade stuff. Got a reasonable amount of spirits there that'd last me for a while if things went south. That's really the liqueur stuff, that I play around with, making kumquat. There's a bottle of butterscotch schnapps there. Up the other end, that's a coffee liqueur, rum liqueur. That's that honey liqueur that I made. It's over 12 months old now, so I must crack that eventually. Anyway, so yeah, doing well with booze. Hopefully that's given you a little bit of an insight into life here on the tiny farm, the trials and tribulations we have when there's a drought, which is unfortunately fairly common in Australia. Anyway, if you like these kind of self-sufficient living, homesteading in the city kind of videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'd be very grateful for that. Hit the little bell icon and you'll even be informed when the new videos go up. Alright, I'll say goodbye, and you folks have a wonderful day or night, whichever you're seeing me on, and enjoy. See ya.